Let me straight away go to Mr. Shoaib Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, what do you make of the speech of Sheikh Hasina?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma. The most important part of this speech is she has called for taking back the nation, meaning what I have been also continuously saying, that our country, our nation has been hijacked. Bangladesh is no more in the hands of 180 million Bengalis. And because of that, you are seeing the ongoing genocide on the Hindus, attack on secularist institutions, attack on media, and even attack on the monuments of our great liberation war. So our country, in one word, I should say, has been invaded by foreign forces, and Sheikh Hasina wants the nation to get united and liberate the country from the evil clutches of these foreign elements.
So, General Kocher, there is another very important aspect, and that aspect is that the Americans and the so-called leaders of the liberal democracy have no qualm in having a truck with Islamists, and they're opposed to a person who ran a secular democracy in Bangladesh, and India is left to deal with this situation. Isn't that so, sir?
Kartikeya, this is a very, very important discussion you are bringing out and an aspect in this conversation, because there is definitely a US hand or a CIA role in the change of regime in Bangladesh. You see, unfortunately, if we look at Bangladesh, let's not look at Bangladesh in the last 12 months only, because we'll want to get a balanced perspective in Bangladesh if we look back beyond 12 months also. Because all said and done, Sheikh Hasina hasn't crowned herself in much glory during her time when she was the Prime Minister. She has also compromised the judiciary to a large extent, interfered into the administration aspects and other, we are aware of it. So I don't want to go into details. But what is important now is what important aspect she is actually bringing out, and the people of Bangladesh must listen, because two wrongs don't make a right. It's very, very simple that in case the similar kind of practices are being implemented now, that is not good for the future of the country.
Absolutely.
There has to be a change now. There has to be a semblance to sanity. There has to be towards a progressive mindset, because look at the problems Bangladesh is facing today. Shoaib ji is here. He will agree with me. There is a huge amount of unemployment. The local industry or the government industry has almost broken down. But the inflation has gone more than 9%. You see, elections will come and go. But what is important is the people of the country. 180 million people are at stake here. And you don't have a stable system of governance to give to them. And what Muhammad Yunus is going to do, which Sheikh Hasina in her 5-point, this last 5 points, I think the most important aspect which she actually mentioned is the free and fair elections, which I don't think are going to happen. With the Muhammad Yunus being there, it is a foregone conclusion in my assessment. Well, we can debate that, because in my assessment, Jamaat-e-Islami is going to come to power. BNP will be a secondary force with them, may also be in the form of a coalition, but largely I see, because of Muhammad Yunus being there, he is going to manipulate, including the electoral rolls of Bangladesh have not been revised since more than 8 to 10 years now. So what kind of elections are going to be there? The selection of candidates, if we are not going to allow the Awami League coming into the area, you will find in many
But
predominantly.
General Kocha, there's a question which I need to ask. And Shoaib, tell me, is Muhammad Yunus a face, or he is a face and mind combined together? A lot of people say he's been propped by CIA, he's been propped by Western intelligence agencies. That is why we say it's a coup, because a genuinely elected government has been kicked out. But who is this guy?
Muhammad Yunus practically is the monster himself as well, the epicenter of many monsters. And United States, as we know, by wearing under the garb of prophet of democracy, is destroying democracy. Every country in the world, even in the United States today, there is no democracy. There is absolutely brutal autocracy dictatorship in the US. So United States, under this garb of democracy or prophet of democracy, they are attacking each and every nation and looting that nation. And they always are using an agent, a prime mercenary like Muhammad Yunus. For example, in Bangladesh, they have already taken control of all the 24 oil blocks in Bay of Bengal. They have taken lots of natural resources from Bangladesh. They even it caused the massive gas shortage in every household in the country because America wants to sell LNG. So they are pushing the entire nation into suffering so that they can make cash. And as because America is not a democracy at all, America itself is a cruel autocracy dictatorship. And as you know, that the Chicago's Al Capone, so Donald Trump is the Al Capone, and all other American policymakers, they are nothing better than Al Capone, and they are targeting nations like us, nations like who are prospering, like Bangladesh and many other countries, and they still are continuing their heinous conspiracy. And everywhere they are finding a monster like Muhammad Yunus, who himself is the monster, and he houses other monsters who are uh, uh, going to destroy the country. And as former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said, that the country is being destroyed. Country is democracy is not only country is destroyed. Country is being pushed to a certain place where from it will take decades for recovering. Because as we know that this illegal regime is also preparing for holding a referendum on the 12th of February. Chinese ambassador in Dhaka is openly participating in the campaign of referendum. Pakistani diplomats are joining in the campaign of this referendum. It proves that this referendum is going to be held to further sorry, serve the interest of the masters of Muhammad Yunus, and Bangladesh is journeying towards becoming a caliphate.
General Kocher, if the world is supposed to be a battleground between China and America, how come both America, China, and Pakistan are on the same page when it comes to Bangladesh?
Because you see, what is happening is that geopolitics, as I actually see, has a strange bedfellows. And what we are seeing now is that US and India, that kind of synergy which we saw in the United States and India, is it has been actually disrupted. Second is that US interests here are to ensure that instability remains in India. I will just take you back to a few incidents in the northeast of the country also.
Okay.
In Manipur, in Mizoram, where we saw the US hand, where there was a handler who was training these cookies into use of drones and things like this. So, if that is the CIA model of keeping India on the tender hooks, then possibly US has a role to play. And secondly, in if the regime change is happening because of the US, then definitely US interests will also have to be looked after by Bangladesh. And at the same time, in case Bangladesh wants to disassociate from India, where does it go to? China is the best alternative. because in case of all your power projects, your water your projects, now we are seeing the Chinese are coming in, because China is the fulcrum now as far as Bangladesh is concerned to counter India. And once China actually comes here, the Pakistani, it's corollary that Pakistani ISI will also gain a foothold here, and we are seeing that the Chinese foreign minister is being taken to the Chicken Neck area. He's been taken to Lan Murirat on air base now, which Pakistani companies are developing that with China also actively involved. So the entire security calculus, if I just summarize it, it has a US interest, China's economic interest, and Pakistan's security interest to destabilize India.